not because they don't exist. It's because women scared them all away. All I see on social media is men being canceled and scrutinized just for being men.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode, men are done with chasing modern day women, and women are finally feeling it. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here, and let's jump right into the video.
Male loneliness epidemic as women walking away from men. I actually see it as us creating space for men to step in to positions of leading their own lives the way that they want to lead their own lives, right? Because any man who is genuinely interested in creating a relationship with a woman understands that there are things that you need to do to make yourself desirable. The power that men can get from picking up a book and reading it is unbelievable. And I don't think that men realize that the more educated you become around what women are looking for and what they're interested in.
Yes, guys, the amount of times I can count women talking about the male loneliness epidemic, and I still haven't heard a man bring it up. It's funny how that works, right? The women just constantly saying men are lonely, even though dudes are saying this actually isn't the case at all. But anyway, the woman is saying men have to be worth the relationship. But here's the thing, guys. Women are actually the ones being denied relationships from the men that they want. Go and take a look at all the situationships they end up in, and you will understand exactly what I mean.
The better their outcomes will be. It is literally the equivalent of pain point marketing in the marketing world and in the social media space. We look at what pain points our clients are suffering with. We look at what their goals are, and we adjust our messaging to those things so that we can attract more of those people in. And I think it's the exact same when we apply it to the male loneliness epidemic. If men are so interested in finding a partner in which research has shown that men are happier, they make more money, and they have a better longevity and better quality of life when they are in a relationship with a woman, then that's something that they should probably learn to do in order to find a woman who they want to settle with. And so actually, I think it's a really important.
The funny thing about this, guys, is I see this brought up quite a lot with women. They say, oh, well, married men live longer and are happier. Do you ever consider the fact that maybe women are choosing dudes who are safer to marry, like the type of men who, don't risk their health and things like this? It's always like, oh, the reason why men live longer is because they married a woman. But realistically, they don't understand that correlation is not causation. These people are so clueless.
Here's another example of why women are the fucking problem sometimes. So women are like, when we go to the gym, the men stare at us. The men stare at us. We don't want you to stare at us. I just watched a video of a woman doing calisthenics and nothing but a crop top and skin tight booty shorts. And there was 3 men around her, and the entire minute video, none of them looked at her. They didn't give a single fuck what she was doing, okay? And so I noticed it naturally, right? And so I went to the comments, and every fucking female in that comment section is like, but no one looked? Oh, so now you want them in to stare at you at the gym? That's a little hypocritical. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? No, it doesn't. How about you just go to the gym and everyone there is minding their own fucking business? Like, if people stare, people stare. If they don't, like, whatever, big fucking whoop. People are there to fight their own demons. They're not there to, like, oh my God.
Women spent years telling men to stop looking, and now the complaint is that nobody is looking. She watched 3 guys completely ignore a woman working out in booty shorts, and somehow that became a problem too. It's funny how no matter what men do, by the way, it's a problem, right? You engage, it's a problem. You don't engage, it's a problem. A lot of guys are just going to opt out when this is the case.
It's not because they don't exist. It's because women scared them all away. All I see on social media is men being canceled and scrutinized just for being men. We have literally embarrassed, belittled, and threatened men just for trying to approach us women. I understand there are some horror stories out there, but women can be just as guilty. All the high-value men are doing the same thing us women do on a daily basis. Like go to the gym, go to work, get coffee, coffee, go to the grocery store. The problem is that women have become so cold and out of touch with our feminine energy that men are literally horrified of being that guy or getting canceled and trashed on. Most of them have just completely backed off because we women have been screaming at them not to come talk to us. We have to take accountability for our action and behavior as women and stop making men look like monsters and start embodying our feminine energy to be more warm and inviting for the right man to swoop you off your feet.
The quote-unquote high-value men did not vanish, they just stopped volunteering for abuse, essentially. She admits women went cold and treated a normal approach as something criminal, which is the whole reason the approaches stopped, among actually other reasons as well, I will say. But credit to her for naming it instead of just blaming the men.
Women is because you're scared you'll be accused of sexual harassment. That's not going to happen. You know that's not going to happen. If you approach anybody with kindness and respect, the worst they can say is no. The reason you don't want to approach women is because you're a sissy. And that's the fundamental issue. Stop trying to make it some other situation that has to do with society and culture and feminism, dude. No. Go say hi to a girl. Be nice about it. Whatever. Learn to get a little bit of zhuzh. I don't want to use the word riz. I'm doing everything to avoid using that word. You have to get better at socializing and talking to strangers if it is your goal to obtain a girlfriend via cold open. Now, you can also just hang out with mutual friends, dude. It doesn't have to be like some you don't have to watch a pickup artist and figure out how to do it. Be that guy that's always making small talk with people in a line. Be that person. You can become that person if you would like to interact with women more. Stop pretending it's like culture or something, dude. The reason you don't want to talk to women in public is because you're a sissy and you're nervous and you spend too much time on your phone. We'll talk to other people all the time. Strangers talk to people all the time. Ever met one of those social people that just starts making a friend everywhere they go? Be that guy.
I love how these women will say the reason why men aren't approaching, and it's just consistently wrong, right? They say, oh, men are intimidated, or they're just anxious and it's nerves and all of these sorts of things. But the thing is, men don't approach because, number one, it's not worth approaching for men. And number two, it is very risky with the false allegations, being called a creep and so on. A lot of men will simply say, you know what, it's not worth it. And to top it all off, by the way, women have been telling men not to approach them as well.
Why is it that men no longer really approach women in public? Because I feel like back in the 90s, early 2000s, you'd see it so frequently that men are walking up to women, having a little conversation, a little banter, a little flirt, and maybe even ask them out if things are going well. But I don't ever see that anymore. What's going on? Like, what happened? Can you guys let me know in the comments, please?
She asks where the men went who used to walk up and start a conversation. I'll tell you where they went. They left, okay? Because dudes are not interested in risking this crap anymore. It really is quite simple, guys. Men got called all sorts of names for engaging in this, like, these conversations and so on. So, don't be surprised when men simply stop.
This is one of the worst problems that we're facing right now in society, because this kind of smear campaign, character assassination is the reason that young men are not seeking out young women, will not talk to young women, and it's the reason that young women say there are no men worth talking to or marrying out there. There is a breakdown, not just of marriage, but of relationships in younger generations, and it's based on fear. And that stems from a lot of the false Me Too. It didn't get worse because rape went up. Rape has gone down, just to be clear. Sexual assault has gone down. False accusations have gone up, and so men are saying it's not worth the risk. And then women are saying, where am I going to find a man with, a 7-figure income who's 6'2", and is willing to, give me everything that I want? Well,
Crowder points at the smear campaign that made every approach risky, and the numbers back him here. Assault went down while false accusations went up, so men weighed the risk and decided it was not worth it. Hard to call that anything but a rational response, really.
Top 3 reasons why this type of guy cuts women off. Cold-blooded, no mercy. Y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number 1, senses that a woman doesn't seem to be authentic. Something about her just doesn't sit right with his spirit. And therefore that feeling makes him question his ability to trust her. Remember, men are logical. So she could be the baddest thing on 2 feet. If he can't trust that she's authentic, she gotta go. Number 2, compromising his peace. This type of guy don't play about his peace. If you causing stress, emotional neediness, desiring constant validation, creating unnecessary drama and turbulence, life is already hard, beloved. If you just have an overwhelmingly negative energy, gotta go. Number 3, the disrespect or the lack of mutual respect and microaggression. the dismissiveness or belittling him, shaming him. This signals a lack of appreciation and a lack of respect. So yeah, you gotta go.
Her 3 reasons are a checklist of things that were never complicated. A man cuts a woman off when he cannot trust her, when she wrecks his peace, and when she treats him with contempt. None of that asks a woman to be perfect, just not exhausting.
Why is it that so many women, once bold and independent in their 20s, are now full of regret and tears in their 30s and 40s? Why does independence taste bitter when you're eating it alone at an empty dinner table? Well, today, I'm giving you 7 raw, unfiltered reasons why so many women are aging alone and they're bitter about it. No pandering, no caping, just the truth they don't want to hear, but desperately need to. Reason number 1. Rejection of femininity. Too many women strip themselves of gentleness and humility for aggression and ego. They were told femininity was weakness, so they became masculine carbon copies of men. But now that the years have passed, they're realizing the truth. Men don't marry competitors, they marry complementers. Modern culture sold women a lie. Be strong, be independent, and he'll still love you. But the reality, most men don't want a second man in the house. They want a helpmeet, not a rival. Reason number 2. Independence became a religion. Society told women, you don't need a man. And now, life is proving them right, but painfully so. They did everything solo, made their own money, paid their own bills, climbed the ladder, and now they're also crying alone, eating alone, and sleeping alone. Independence is not a replacement for intimacy. And now they're realizing, I can do bad all by myself. It's not a goal. It's a curse. Reason number 3. Men are tired of being used, then blamed. Many good men got burned early. They gave love, provision, leadership, and got disrespected in return. Now those same men have wised up. They're not chasing anymore. They're not playing Captain Save-A-Ho. They're prioritizing peace over pretty. Women who once said, I don't need you, are now crying, where have all the good men gone? And the answer? We're still here. We just don't want you anymore. Y'all are so unfit for relationships.
And this is absolutely true as well. I think men are tired of being used and then blamed for absolutely everything. You know, dating leaves fewer options with age for women in particular, and that standard that they have of men stays sky high the whole time.
Y'all won't even tell your sons to date women with your resumes, and that is a damn shame. Reason number 4. A woman's desire to date up in status, income, and influence leaves her with fewer viable options the older she gets. Let's be real. Men at the top has access to the best. And if a woman's attitude is nasty, if her peace is absent, if her femininity is gone, why in the hell would he pick her? Men have options too. And they're choosing younger, softer, sweeter women who bring peace, not power struggles. And the icing on the cake? More and more men each year are becoming high earners in their 30s and enjoying the single life, traveling the world, and they're not looking back. Reason number 5. Delusional dating standards. Too many women held on to fantasy over reality, waiting for a 6'4" millionaire, emotionally intelligent, faithful, ripped, gentle but aggressive, romantic but tough unicorn man, while bringing nothing but attitude, student loan debt, and entitlement to the table. As time passed, their value dried up, but their standards didn't. Now they sitting in bitterness, refusing to compromise, not realizing they're no longer in their prime. They're in denial. The crazy thing is, you could have kept the men who held his value longer than you. You just didn't know how to keep him happy. You failed to stay in your lane while he led. And most of y'all let yourselves go while thinking the grass was greener on the other side. And when you found out it wasn't, you started looking at younger women who looked like they were winning. You saw their bodies, the hips and the thighs, and you thought to yourself, I got enough money. I'll just go to Dr. Miami and lay down under the blade. And when he started chopping you up, the pookie started knocking you up. And that's when you realize that even if you gift wrap shit, it doesn't take away the stink. So now you're crying with your BBL and your donut lips. And guess what?
This is actually a huge issue for modern day women, which he just touched on briefly here, which is that, as the beauty fades, guys, the problem is many modern day women don't actually have anything to offer men. So they become very frustrated and aggravated at men because men don't want to keep them around. But that's because they actually have to provide more than their body. And many modern day women simply can't do that, unfortunately. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.